What's going on YouTube? Fesify Media. A very crazy story today. We're going to be talking about a police officer that's recently been sentenced for taking a footballer's life with a taser. Atkinson was a very good footballer, an English one, who played as a striker. During his football career, he played in England for Ipswich Town, Sheffield Wednesday, Aston Villa, Man City, and even winning the Football League Cup with Villa in 1994. One of his best and most memorable goals was his solo goal against Wimbledon when they won 3-1. He took it around numerous players and the finish was a nice little chip as well. It's got a lot of views on YouTube and resurfaces a lot for the Villa fans. But now we're going to dive into exactly what happened when his life was taken at the hands of the UK police force. Let's get into it. So we have to go back to August the 15th, 2016, where Mr. Atkinson, the footballer, attended his father's house in Telford. Now, he became a little bit distressed. People were saying witnesses and was shouting things like, "I'm the Messiah," and people around the scene ended up dialing 999 and calling the police out to where he was. Now, upon arriving, two officers, a man and woman who it came out after were dating at the time, were saying that he was acting erratic and they had to use reasonable force against him. Now, it obviously went way too far in what they did. PC Monk, the male officer, tasered him twice, which had no effect. He then tasered him again for the third time. Also, upon training with the police, you're meant to learn correctly about tasers. Now, you're only meant to pull the taser for 5 seconds to get out of it what you would need, and he held it for 33 seconds against the footballer, which is absolutely disgusting. Upon holding that taser, you know he can't come at you, and still you're 33 seconds in. You must have had a lot of hatred for this person. I don't know why. Racism must come up in this situation. To hold a taser against someone for that long is just sickening. But it gets even worse when we found out that this officer kicked him so hard after as well that it left an imprint. The former footballer, hero, family man had passed as a result of what this officer did, and justice needed to be served. Now, other witnesses at the scene also said that he was unresponsive once he got tasered them 3 times, so the kick was literally unjustified and uncalled for. And also that a woman police officer that was at the scene as well that we spoke about, she was hitting him with the baton while this was all going on. And then both the man and the woman were sitting on top of him while handcuffing him, and he was making loads of noises and allegedly sounded like he couldn't breathe after what he just sustained. They were sitting on top of it. This is the interview of the officer involved in the incident explaining what happened.
Yeah, I can show you. I can tell you. It's an empty glass. Basically, this is the gentleman here. Gentleman here.
Yeah.
Lying well, for want of a better word. And this is his left shoulder here.
Yeah.
Left shoulder. And I'm stood there.
Okay.
I'm stood there. So 2 paces away, off his left shoulder.
Okay. And for sort of clarity, can you show me where Ellie was?
Oh.
Or where you can recall that she was?
One of the things I've noticed when watching this interview for the first time is that he didn't even recall where the other officer, that lady that was with him, was, but yet he was so concerned for her safety later in the interview was talking about, which is a contradiction. But someone who's probably just acting out of control is probably not going to be as aware of their surroundings. He was too busy beating down on the gentleman and getting out of control.
That would be a guess, but I know this was her, where she was applying the button strikes. Her placement after that, you'd have to ask her. I don't know.
No.
So it's just, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, thanks. Okay. So she was applying the baton strikes, and then you'd said to her to get back.
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
Because what she was doing was ineffective,
Okay.
and I'd formed the opinion that I was going to. The only way I could keep this man on the ground to ensure our safety, I was going to kick him.
Okay.
And that's what I did. And I thought, well, whatever proximity was to me, I didn't want her anywhere near it, because if I kick her over, I'm in the same position.
Okay.
So that was my intention, to make sure she was safely back when I did that.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. So could you describe to me the kick that you did?
Yeah, of course. It was basically right-footed, pulled my right foot back, kicked him in the area which I believe to be his shoulder area, with one kick.
Okay.
And it would have been the placement of the foot would have been, for want of a description, on the laces, like a football boot, if you can imagine. So not on. Can I show?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's literally It's literally there.
Okay, and
Yeah.
where did that make contact?
I don't know.
Okay.
So he claims this man is acting so out of control, so he has to kick him to keep him down, but when implying the kick which he aimed for his shoulder, he had no idea where it even landed. I mean, was he looking in the other direction as he threw a kick backwards? I don't understand what he's saying. The truth is he doesn't want to say it out loud because he knows the impact of what he did.
I don't know.
But for clarity, you're saying that's the part of your foot that you used?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And which shoulder was it that you said you guessed it was a shoulder?
His left shoulder.
So his left shoulder.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And you said it was one kick.
One kick.
Yeah.
Yes. To the best of my recollection.
Okay.
It was one kick.
Now, when you look back at fights you've had in the past, maybe a street fight and stuff, you definitely can't remember the fine details of everything that happened, but you would definitely know if you threw one blow or more. And this guy was even sober at the time and on duty, and he can't remember anything that happened, he claimed. The thing everyone's got to remember when we talk about how many kicks this officer thrown and his lack of memory, the only way he's justifying it is by saying the man was out of control, so the heat of that moment was going so fast that he couldn't remember what happened. But this is a man that he had tasered 3 times before this all happened, so he couldn't have been that out of control. And now 5 years later, guys, from 2016 to 2021, a verdict was reached and the male police officer in the event, Monk, was actually found guilty and he's been charged for manslaughter offences. Following a 6-week trial, it took 18 hours and 48 minutes to reach a unanimous verdict on Monk, who had 14 years of police service. Monk was granted bail until his sentencing hearing at the same court on Monday, but being told a custodial sentence is going to be happening. So he will be doing time for what he done to Dalian Atkinson, who I just want to say rest in peace to. He was an absolute hero and didn't deserve this. I was hearing he had other health problems as well at the time of this incident, which made it even more horrible what the police did to him.
About the terrible injuries inflicted by PC Monk on Dalian, but we have been unable to talk about them due to the criminal process. We are hugely relieved that the whole world now knows the truth about how Dalian died. While it has been hard for us not to be able to talk about the details of Dalian's death, it has been even harder to sit through this trial and to hear PC Monk try to justify the force he used. On the night that Dalian died, he was vulnerable and unwell and he needed medical attention. Instead, he received violence and died with PC Monk's bootlace prints bruised on his forehead. We have been sickened to hear PC Monk try to minimalise the force he used on Dalian and exaggerate the threat that Dalian posed. Fortunately, the jury has seen through the lies and the pretense. We would like to thank the jury members for all their hard work.